Why didn't I just say that? What's Skewed, people? Welcome back to Shopped and Skewed. We're back with another episode. This is episode 21.
21, the
We
savage.
made it to the 20s, bro. Yo. Or the savage one.
Bro.
So this better be a savage episode, then, I guess. Anyway.
I'm feeling a bit calm now.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, I guess like maybe the world is starting to like, you know?
It's falling in line.
Yeah, I think things are starting to like fall in line.
Can't get comfortable though, because
Yeah, you can't get too comfortable, bro.
the way you know these things, next thing you know, everything goes left.
Chief. And also, I feel like it has to do with like the time of year. For some reason, when you start a year, it's like you're full of, I guess, hope. Yeah. You're like, okay, this is gonna be my year.
Yeah.
But then January and February kind of always burst your bubble. Like always, almost always, you're like you're taking a bag and you're like,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Come on, I've noticed, Kudi, if you want to do something and you just like think, Kudi, you're just gonna start off in Jan.
Yeah, Jan. It
Never works.
Never works out, bro.
Never
It
works.
never works out. So yeah, I think like now after Jan, Feb, and then you have to like pick up the pieces, and then towards the middle of the year, that's when you like start to like find your regular normal flow without having to like force it. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of the time when you were talking about starting to create content.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had talked about it for a while, and then like this year we're gonna start, and then it was like Jan went, and then Feb. When did you start? Which month?
Proper was in. I remember it was in, I think, August.
In August.
Yeah, it was in August. Like,
They imagine.
I say from like, because like I was pumped and I was like, but I think in August is when I was like, and that was back when I was just doing like maybe like one video a month.
A month,
something
just
like that. And sheesh.
Bro.
But also it was a lot to do with the process, because these days my process is so like streamlined. It's so easy. It's so easy to repeat. Now it's so easy to repeat. But then back then it was like to record it, and there were so many moving parts, and even editing those things, Brad, took me the longest of time. And then back then with like work, there's a pressure from work, and then generally it's just like too much. But yeah, I think now I figured it out.
Yeah, but they just started like the season, bro, like football season.
Bro.
You don't start from Jan.
Yeah.
Somewhere there.
Somewhere. I think there's actually a sweet spot. It should be somewhere there. Like that's when you start things.
Yeah, facts.
That's it. But yeah, anyway, I think back to what I wanted to talk about today. There's this thing about I used to watch a lot of this guy, Timothy Ali Abdal. I don't know if you know him. Some British, I think it's Indian.
Yeah.
Originally, but he's like he's a productivity nerd, basically.
Yeah.
So he's always on about like how to be productive.
Yeah.
So there's this thing where it's talked about you don't necessarily need motivation. You just need discipline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a thing where it's like someone else took it. I just don't remember who I got that particular origin from, but they were relating it to inspiration instead of motivation. They were talking about inspiration.
Yeah.
Like for us designers, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like? Okay, first maybe I should just ask like this.
Okay.
What do you do when you're not inspired?
Oh shish.
When you're not at all inspired, it's just like
When you hit a slump.
when you hit a slump, like a major slump.
Hey.
What do you personally do? And then maybe I'll jump into the.
Okay. Bro. I actually don't know. I just wing it.
You just wing it, yeah?
Yeah, I usually wing it because Because like when you're in that slump, obviously everything that you lean on doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Exactly. That's how you end up there in the first place.
Yeah. So hey.
So the argument was that, okay, do we actually need to be inspired, or do we just need to be disciplined as like people?
Okay.
As a designer,
I think when you're, I mean like discipline, right? If you're going with discipline, then obviously you're going to put out the same amount of, like the quality of your work is going to stay the same. It's going to be stable.
Yeah.
But I think what happens when you're struggling with that slump type thing is because you're trying to expand that quality. You want to do something extraordinary, but you can't.
Which I think is just natural,
Yeah.
For us to like want to do extraordinary every time. Like we always want to like one up ourselves for some reason.
Yes. I don't know if there's any other designer out there who's like fine with just doing the regular.
Yeah, it's never. I don't. It's sometimes it's not even like consciously, but based on your subconscious. I think we talked about like that even on like, was it last week's episode or the other one? That it's like stuff like when you have like a strict guideline that you should follow. It kind of gets old sometimes to like just want to like do the same thing over and over. Like the quality is just there. It's okay. It's passable. They'll approve it. But it's like, what am I really doing?
What's really happening here?
Yeah. So anyway, that was the gist of it. It was like, okay, so you're disciplined in that you just, even if you're not feeling inspired, you're just going to do the work either way. Is that a good way to go about it? Or if you need to go and find like inspiration, go and do some things. Personally, I find that I think I'll always talk about agency work being like the best place to learn because the agency doesn't care about your
inspiration, whatever,
inspired or
where you are
in where you are, or
zero,
your zen, nothing. But
that is zen.
It's just you have a brief, you have to execute. Which it was always bringing that thing where sometimes it's like you've delivered this time, but the next time you haven't really delivered the same kind of quality, or you haven't one-upped yourself. What happened? But it's usually that. It's like, okay, sometimes I'm inspired, sometimes I'm not inspired.
Yeah.
But I'm disciplined enough to just go ahead and do it and see it through every time. So every time you'd be like heavily inspired, bruh.
True. So that's self-torture for us, because you're trying to do something that you're not necessarily being asked to do.
Yeah.
So they're not asking for extraordinary work.
Yeah.
But deep down, you're like, okay, I need to earn my pay at this point.
You always feel that kind of pressure to like, okay, let me outdo myself. It's something that you usually do. There'll be a brief, There'll be a brief, bruh. Like there'll be a brief, okay, execute this. Simple stuff.
Get
it done. This homeboy is like, okay, cool. You get it done. And then it's like, okay, let me just complicate my life a little bit. And you start adding things, and you start removing things. I'm like, my nigga, what are you doing? Like, nah, I just need to like, but it's that kind of thing where it's like, okay, you know that, okay, this can get approved. This will definitely get approved.
This is going to go through.
It's good enough. But something inside you just doesn't let you like.
You can't release it. You're like, nah, this is incomplete. Let me try and complicate
my life a little bit. But yeah, so I just thought it was like strange, like to think about it in that way. That should we really focus on being inspired every time? Because there's a lot of people that think in that way. Yeah, a lot of designers. That's why I was bringing to the agency thing that most people who've never worked in an agency, they design based on inspiration. They're the type of people that tell you like, I'm not inspired. Feeling it. I'm not inspired today. Granted, sometimes we are in an industry where some people have that kind of freedom to like work at their own at their own pace. But personally now, you say I'm freelancing now, yeah? Mm-hmm. I'm freelancing here in the agency. But even though I'm freelancing, because I'm coming from that background, I still get up at early in the morning.
Same.
I sit at my desk in the morning at like 8, like clockwork, every single time.
On the dot.
It's like I have to be there on time, and then I start getting things done. The order in which I get them done maybe can vary. I don't have anyone telling me what is priority and what is. I'll build my own schedule, but still, it's just that discipline of saying that okay, I'll do this work, because I really feel like now, if I didn't have that kind of discipline,
that background,
it would be
so it's chaotic.
It would be such chaos now, because I would just be like jumping from one thing to another, or I'll do this, or I'll be lazy and say that okay, I'll wake up maybe at 10, and then once you start letting yourself go, because I think like the first month of like freelancing, I was taking it easy on myself, like the first month, it was like I was chilling. I was like, hey man, I can't be bothered. But then like I started to see that waking up 8:30 just started becoming 9:30, and 9:30 then started becoming 10. You don't want to
get into that routine where this is a dig at everyone who says this, but like I don't like people who say I'm not a morning person.
Definitely.
Hey, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, bro?
Go get shit done, bro. Like, I mean, I'm not a morning person.
I know, guys.
And also personally, I've never had. I always say that okay, maybe I do not understand it, because personally, I've never had the luxury to not be a morning person. I've never had the luxury to like every morning and be in a slump or be like about it just because of time of day.
Zero.
What the hell, right?
Zero. There's no way.
There's absolutely no way. So like whenever I wake up, whatever mood I'm carrying that day, it's just the same mood. It's not because of time of day. If I'm in a bad mood, I'm in a bad mood. But it doesn't. I don't let myself attach it to a time of day, because once you do that, it's like within you, like you start to like actually fully believe that okay, cool, I'm not a morning person, so I'll probably not get things done in the morning.
Yeah, because honestly, bro, the things you tell yourself, bro, it's crazy.
There's so much power in the things you tell yourself, bro.
Actually, this is a quote that I live by. I don't know where I got it, but someone said, "Don't be yourself. Create yourself."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can just pretty much, you know how I used to be an introvert, what shy, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Bro, I just woke up one day and I was like, you know what? I'm a talkative person. I'm gonna talk a lot.
Yeah.
And I just kept telling myself that, and now I have a whole podcast and I'm just talking
the whole time, bro.
Wouldn't have
been possible, bro. Wouldn't have been possible back then. Straight. Actually, like it's something that's talked about in this book, the famous book, Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
Where there's like bands that they say to change a habit, there's like you first have to change your, I don't know the actual words. I've forgotten
terminology.
The terminology, but it's like you don't change your habits by doing things differently. Mm-hmm. You change your habits by being a different person. For example, if you say, "Woody, okay, I will go jogging,"
yeah.
You can tell yourself that, okay, I'll start jogging. I'll go jogging every single day. Those are action. That's action oriented.
Yeah.
But how you change the entire thing is saying, as you put it, I'm a jogger now.
Yeah.
It's something that you put. It might just sound like you're saying it or something, but if you consider yourself a jogger, look at for example, look at design. We all say we're designers, it's something that we've lived by. It always comes back naturally because it's something that you put in your belief system that okay, like I am this. This is who
me.
I am. This is me. But if you just say, well, sometimes I
design. I do some design work.
Design work there.
Yeah.
You will never fully do it. For example, me, I always say, well, I do a little bit of animation here and there. I do a little bit of After Effects. I have never said rather I'm an animator. And I feel like that's the one thing that will like continue to like shrink me down, and I will never like achieve that because I keep telling myself, I don't tell myself I'm an animator. I don't tell myself I'm a 3D artist. These are things that I've always wanted to do, but I have never tried to. I have tried to like do actions towards them, but I've never tried to like change my
to actually
beliefs,
live that life.
Live that life and say that, okay, I am this.
Let's think about that life.
I'm not about that life.
Damn. No, I say, I just gotten curious. You know how you were talking about working out when in some kind of mood, what?
Yeah.
Don't you miss that part about the agency where you live home, you're mad as hell.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
You live home, you're mad as hell.
Yeah.
And then you step into the office and it's just bands all over the place.
Yeah.
And then your mood actually just switches up and it's all good.
That's actually like one of the... I think the main thing I miss about working in an agency and working with you guys. It's the atmosphere, the creative studio,
Yeah.
Because I don't get that here. I wake up, I work. I'll do work. If I wake up in a bad mood, I'll probably be in a bad mood until maybe
for like half the day.
Maybe like 12 when I have to go get maybe Sky and stuff like.
Yeah.
That's the time when everything else starts to like move around me. But when I wake up, from the time I wake up to like midday, it's just me in this office.
Shish.
So it's really hard to like change my mood. If I wake up in a bad mood, I'll probably be in a bad mood.
Bro.
But also it's in the same thing where I've like just disciplined myself enough to like just try to be as neutral as possible.
Yeah.
Do certain things that help put me in a good mood.
What is that? What are those? Maybe that's what can actually help people.
Yeah. How I work these days, I have to be listening to something or watching something. Like a podcast.
Yeah,
maybe like a podcast, or it depends on the day.
Yeah.
Like as I'm saying, if I wake up in a bad mood, I'll throw on some shits and gigs.
Okay.
I know for a fact it's the same thing that we're saying that okay, when you go into the office and you're in a bad mood and you find like bands and everything, it's like when you put that stuff in like your workflow. Like you're working, I'm watching something funny on the ocean, especially podcasts, because watching other things need too much of your attention.
Yeah. Maka one legend, I say funny clips.
Funny clips. But that's like my funny clips and Jama Funika Guji. You should watch them visually, yeah. So like you're working and like you can't really divert your attention. But podcasts work because they're not intended to like be consumed visually, It's like people talking. So yeah, that kind of like gets me in the mood. So usually it's stuff like that. Podcasts, music here and there. I'm trying to get back into.
Don't lie. Don't cap.
It's true, but
when was the last time you listened to music like religiously, like?
It's been a minute.
This guy.
Yeah, but usually it's that. Sometimes I'll throw in like a YouTube video that I actually have to watch.
Yeah.
And like I'll watch that not working. And like maybe 30 minutes later I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like pumped for
back in this one.
Yeah. So like there's so many different things that I have to like do. But also the main thing, guys, the key to being in a good mood, guys, eat. I keep saying this, guys. I keep saying this, bro. Like, how sure are you that you're in a bad mood? Maybe you're just hungry.
We're just hungry.
So, like, these are things that, like, if we're troubleshooting a bad mood, the first things you have to think of fixing are, okay, cool. Have I eaten? Those are the kind of things. Have I eaten? Okay, I've eaten. I'm still in a bad mood. Okay. But most of the times, trust me, in a bad mood, you eat, have your breakfast, you're good to go.
Bro, it just reminded me of that meme that's running on TikTok where like boyfriend, girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And then the girlfriend is complaining that I have a headache, Jinjani.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend just hits her every single time. Did you eat?
Yeah.
Did you eat? Like every single time.
The same exact question every time.
And we're like, she keeps saying that, but she knows the answer she's gonna get.
Yeah.
But like she's still hoping for a different
answer. Yeah.
Nah, first of all, did you eat?
I think I personally put eating very like it's
yeah.
like,
hey bro, I remember how you just got in the office, bro. First thing in the morning, this nigga's fetching coffee. I have to
have my tea. I have to have my. I can't without it because that's for you. You get me there. If anyone caught me there, you will catch me. I have made myself believe that I have to have breakfast in the morning. I have to have tea in the morning every single morning, and it's something that's within my belief system now to the point where if I don't do it. Hey man, that's when you catch me in a grumpy mood. That's when everything goes wrong, and it's stuff that it's a very basic breakfast. I don't have as complicated bread. Tea and the bread, bas. Simple. I knew that if like I start to complicate it, I start to add other things to it, then it will be something that I have to also think about. During at the start of the day. Okay, what do I really want for breakfast?
Yeah.
So. Usually I just simplify it. This is what I have every single time, and it's that. It's like what we used to do when you remember when we used to order food from the restaurant back in the day, way back in the day from work. This nigga always had the same thing.
Same stuff.
Same thing. It's the kind of thing where to avoid having to put your mind through the mental gymnastics of okay, what do I eat today?
What do I feel like eating today?
Just find something you actually like and like go with it.
Stick to it.
Stick to it.
That brings us back to discipline.
Exactly. It is all connected. So the more you reduce some of these other things these other little beliefs, you simplify your thing, you simplify your life. Okay, this is how I do. You notice that when you run into issues, it's easier for you to fix because you know what you've done differently. Yeah, when you have like a structured approach to life and work.
Yeah.
When something goes wrong, it's easy for you to track, okay, this is what I did differently, or this is what I haven't done, or this is maybe what I'm supposed to be doing. This is how I can get out of this slump because you have created structure around all the other tasks. But if everything is like comes randomly, every day you have to make decisions about all the little things, every little thing, it becomes difficult, bruh. It becomes difficult to like track.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So what are we concluding from this? What are we?
Okay, conclusion for me, it's let's not rely. First of all, let's not rely on inspiration. Yeah, let's try to find ways to just have a certain discipline. You can discipline yourself to be creative. Yeah. That is you knowing the things that get you in the mood, knowing the things that get you inspired, and putting them in a system. Yeah.
Get you in the mood, like nigga. Which podcast is this?
What kind of podcast is this? What's going on, bro?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Get inspired. Like if you have things that you do that usually when you're in a slump, they get you inspired. Just incorporate those things into your daily.
Oh yeah.
Even if you don't feel like you need them that day. To do that. Like you do your normal Behance scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a ritual.
Just make that a ritual and say that I will continue to always do this, even if I'm feeling heavily inspired, even if I'm okay. But once you build that into your system, like okay, this is what I do. You do it.
Yeah, because I don't like the reputation that creative people keep getting about, you know how, especially as designers, you know how they're like, these people are unreliable. I don't like that. So that could actually help.
It's
with just settling.
The systematic approach of like just
that way. That way, we could be justified in like giving like crazy prices.
Yeah.
Because it's really just down to that.
It is. It's the same thing we talked about last week. It's like if you have like system, if you have like a proper structure, I feel like even your confidence in what you do kind of goes up.
Yeah, it does.
Because you know what to expect. You you're not surprising yourself. Even when you're telling client, even when you're communicating something to client, you tell them directly what they're gonna expect from you. It's not like it's like, okay, I'll see when how long it would take me to do this.
Yeah.
But when you're strict and you say that, okay, this kind of way it worked.
Takes 2
weeks. It's 2 weeks. It's not 2 weeks that you'll be doing stuff, but you know that within that 2 weeks,
it's gonna be
based on your system. There's no chance that you won't be done with whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Hey, Nibo, I have like a small confession, bro.
Yeah,
like the other day, bro. Hey man, I was broke as hell.
Yeah.
And I did some work. Hey bro, I undercharged.
Yeah.
Bro, it's still haunting me to this day, bro. I'm like, oh my god, bro. Oh, what would Terrence think about this?
He'll be so disappointed.
Yeah, bro. Like, nah. Because like the entire time, you know, when you're doing a job and you're just mad, just min-mugging the entire time.
And unfortunately, those jobs that you take and you're like, let me just take it just because, like, I need the money right now, so I'll just take it. They end up being the most annoying projects.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's kind of like maybe psychology on your part, that because you're getting paid less than you usually do,
has to be
your approach is different.
Has to
but
be.
But also the client is always the clients that pay little are always a problem, bruh. Like it's always, man. So yeah. We all have those moments. Where we're like,
honestly, I say,
take a cut.
I don't know if we've ever touched on this, but you know how we can, at this point in time, we can tell, okay, this client is going to be a problem.
Yeah, you can.
This one is going to be great.
There's a lot of red flags.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
What are some red flags that you're sure? Okay, this is not gonna lead into any meaningful.
Yeah, into meaningful
jobs. Yeah.
I think I've said this before, but once a client starts, okay, you have found me. You're a client.
Yeah.
Take yourself as a client. You have found me. Yeah. Whether from my work on like the work I post on Instagram, let's say you DM me from Instagram.
Yeah.
Yo, I've seen your work. I like it. I need ABCD. How much do you charge? And I'm like, okay, cool. I charge ABCD for this. I lay it out, Popo. Once a client says, but can you show me some more of your work? Chief.
Run.
Bruh, run. It's always a bad client that, bruh, you've seen enough for you to come to me and ask.
How much more do you need?
So it's like if you start trying to reassure them that you're good from that point, they'll be the type of client that are never satisfied. I remember having this conversation with who was that? But someone was giving me a through ball basically. Yeah. Okay, there's this client, they want ABCD. I was like, cool. He's like, so I want to recommend you. I'm like, cool, but what are you recommending me based off of? Is it just who's gonna do the convincing here? Yeah? Are you recommending me as, bruh, work with this person? They're good enough, or are you recommending as, I know some designer? Maybe you should work with him. Because it's kind of different approaches when you think about it. Because the first one, it's like, okay, my G, you don't even have to stress. This person will do ABCD.
We'll get it done.
This person has done ABCD for me before.
Yeah.
And this is someone that I've worked with. So they should have something that they can convince the person. So is it you doing that convincing? Or are you just going to give me this person's number and then I have to like now start pitching myself again. And so now, I don't know, maybe it's like a bad thing, but I don't know what's going on now, but
a designer,
I am finding it increasingly hard to prove myself to people that I'm good enough for the work. So I find it so hard to like, okay, we want this work. Okay, cool. There's so many designers right now. You should be going to a designer because you've seen what they can do. It's not like there's a scarce. We're not scarce. There's plenty of designers. So, and most of us have maybe a portfolio online or something of that sort. So by the time a client is coming to you, they should know something about your work. They should know. So don't bring me back to like now start pitching and asking, good, okay, no, please hire me because ABCD. You've come to me. Anyway, red flag. That's pitch. Red flag number one. What's yours? Maybe get us one as well.
For me, when they... Okay, what I've noticed is if a client has intentions of working with you, they pitch you the idea first. They don't ask what your prices are.
Oh, yeah.
So you usually get a person saying, okay, my guy, there's this thing I want to do. I want it to happen like this. I want it to look like this.
Yeah.
Cool. And then after you do that, you then get to the finances.
Yeah, you kind of like feel it, yeah.
You're like, hey.
But that also kind of like, yeah, I think you're right. I have this system, as you know, that I will not hear you out until we've sorted each other out.
The money,
yeah, we've sorted each other.
That's a good one,
because it's good, but it's harder for some people to grasp it
to get where you're coming from.
Get where I'm coming from, because I think we have worked with a lot of people, but a lot of people haven't worked with, most people haven't worked with a lot of designers. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of new to them. So, I've been doing this for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And I have seen what people can do to you. I've seen people making you do work and like then not paying you. Or I've seen people having you talk about ideas, you brainstorm with them, and then they go and get it done somewhere else.
Eish.
I have seen all of these instances of these things. So there's no way I'm applying my brain power to anything that you're telling me right now until we have an agreement or until you pay. My system is simple. 50% up front. So the client pretty much tells me, okay, I want a logo for my company. Depending on how much information they have given Kumayambiri logo, it's to them. They'll tell me, okay, I want a logo and maybe a company profile for my company, ABCD. We do this and that, this and that, this and that, this and that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. So I charge, even if they don't ask what I charge.
Yeah.
So I charge this much. You pay 50% upfront.
That's non-refundable. The fee.
I've never actually.
You've never gotten to a point where you have to.
I've never had to refund. Hey, okay. Man, I mean, like, not to brag or anything, but no one has ever asked for their money back. Nobody. So maybe it's been going good, but I kind of like I've never experienced an instance where someone says,
"Give me back my money."
Give me back my money, bro. I've never let it get to that.
In Egoma, it's happened before out of me being frustrated.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, you know what, bro?
Just take your money and
your money and go. Okay. Go work with somebody else.
That's a different scenario.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the 50% is, I don't know if it's refundable. It's refundable.
The fine print.
I don't think it is though, because maybe I would refund part of it, but then I always say that it's not just paying me for doing the work that because people assume that the work is me sitting in front of the computer and like designing stuff.
No.
But then the work is me even thinking. Yeah. Once I start thinking about what your logo should look like, that's me working.
Bro, because that stuff, like, we obsess, bro. We obsess about stuff. As soon as you hear something new, like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So there's so many things that happen even after that initial. Once they tell you about the thing, once they tell you the name of the thing, you've already started working in your mind. So somehow that needs to be compensated, even if you're not going ahead or even if they change their mind.
Yeah.
But there's no way they're taking all their money because I've already started working in my mind.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's number 2. Another red flag for me is negotiation. Not just negotiating is okay, but I think baseless, like if there's no base for why they're negotiating, then for me that's a red flag. Because if I tell you that, okay, I'm giving you this package, it has 10 items, as we've talked about before. It has 10 items. Negotiation should be okay. what happens if instead of 10 items, let's do 9 items? How's the price going to change? But then sometimes someone will just come to you and like, okay, how much are you charging me for a logo, for example?
Uh-huh.
I tell them you told them your price. I'm charging A, B, C, D. Can you do it for me for half of that?
Why?
Why would I do that? Like, honestly.
Tell me why.
Tell me. Because it doesn't make any sense. There's no base. You're not even sitting down and thinking about why I'm charging that much, or trying to justify. Because sometimes someone will tell you, okay, maybe our budget for this is. I've had like a recent negotiation like that where someone asked for a couple of things. I gave them my price, and then they went back. They sat down. And they restructured the things they wanted. They were like, okay, instead of having 2 of these, maybe we have
just one.
They restructured it. They put in their work, and then they say, okay, what if we wanted these things in this structure instead? How much would it be then? And then, or no, they actually said, okay, can we do these things, A, B, C, D things, but for this price? And then now it's putting it to me to think about, okay, it's not as much work as initially was.
Yeah.
And now it's less. So maybe I can consider...
When the money actually makes sense.
Yeah, it actually makes sense.
Type thing.
And they've thought about it.
All
But
right.
the usual thing was just saying, I had like 50,000. Okay, cool. And these days I am recommending. As I said, I don't have an issue with designers charging different prices.
Yeah.
Somehow we had this conversation again yesterday. I just didn't remember. Okay, yeah, but yeah, we had this conversation yesterday that we should have a standardized price and stuff. I was like, no, don't have it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. So what I usually do now is someone tells me, if I tell someone my price, and they tell me, hey, bruh, I only have 40K.
Yeah.
Luckily, I know a lot of designers, and I know designers that might charge 40K for that said service. I'll say no, but I will do you one better, and I'll recommend some people that charges that amount. So I have not just I've not like sent you away, but I will say, okay, cool. I can't do it for that price because my price is A. But I know someone who does it for that price.
Yeah. And
they're good, and you work with them.
Yeah.
So cool. They'll go to that person. If they find Bobo.
It's actually good for them to actually work with someone who's fine with that price from the jump.
Exactly.
Yeah, because even if you knock it down, bro, like the ententhusiasm is
different. You don't want to work with someone who you have like done that to.
Yeah. So, especially with this kind of work,
bro. Because same thing with I think we started with that. I can do the work. It's gonna get done. It's gonna get done one way or another. It's gonna get done. But if all things have to be, everything else has to be in place properly for me to like be in the perfect headspace to go above and beyond. So if you start with the price, which is the main thing we're doing, we do this for the money. Guys, as I said, the last time someone said, why do we do this? We said, besides the money, why do we do this? Primary thing.
Now, the money that we put aside from that episode.
The money that we put aside to that episode, we have to bring it back now. We do this to get paid. Everyone has like their bills. Everyone has the things that we're all trying to improve our life. Look at the economy. It's shit right now.
Yeah.
Like we need to find ways to like better our lives and stuff like that. So we're doing this. We're perfecting the craft. We're doing all of this. It's work. So the money still comes first. So the money that motivates. That's the first motivator. Someone should come and then say that, okay, I'll pay you half the money. That's half the motivation right there.
Honestly. Also, I've noticed one thing when the kwacha got devalued, right?
Yeah.
You know how mostly if like you're doing a very small thing, right? Usually you just throw it at 50K.
Yeah,
right?
It's always like a sweet spot.
It's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
50K, but now that the kwacha has gone to hell, people are still expecting that 50K.
The same 50K.
Yeah, but then
different.
no, it's not the same money now. obviously I'm gonna have to adjust that. So it's the same 50K. Come on, no, I can't use because it's not gonna work
Chief,
the way it does.
I remember there was a time we used to charge 35K for work. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you had the price. I think your sweet spot then was 35K.
35K, yeah.
And people still thought you were expensive.
Yeah, 1 million.
Yeah, people would still say, hey.
And the funny thing is, I was at that price for a very long time.
Very long time.
And even after it became cheap, people were like, just had that idea that I'm expensive.
It's too expensive. And stuff
it was just fun.
Like, so guys, like,
so
yeah, those are kind of some of the red flags, like with bad clients. There's like so many of them. You just have to like look out. And I know it's always tough to like turn down a client, but in most cases, it's better for you. Also, like for even long term, yeah, long term for your mental. And as I said, like if you give a client an alternative, say, okay, if you want, oh yeah, and this is a perfect actually thing to highlight, yeah. When you give a client an alternative and say, okay, I don't do it for 40K, but I know someone who does. They'll go to the 40K person, yeah. Mm-hmm. Depending on their experience,
yeah,
they're very likely to come back to you when they're up their money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay. Most of the times, I'm not saying this is all of the times, yeah, but most of the times they'll go to the 40K designer, and then they'll realize why you charge more. Your offering is better, or maybe your deliverables, there's more deliverables for that specific amount of money. And then they're like, okay, now they understand the difference between 200,000 kwacha designer and a 40,000 kwacha designer. So when they know that, okay, when we need to do something else, we just need to get our money up. Maybe they'll do that thing, but they'll know that, okay, we just need to get our money up to afford this person because they'll give us a much better service. So even though they might seem like you've lost a client then, but you're actually very likely to get the same client, but in a better mind frame the next time you work with them.
Yeah, you know what I just realized?
Yeah.
Designs like artworks are like perfumes, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, like cheap perfume.
Yeah.
You can actually smell that.
You can
actually feel that.
You can smell it.
This is cheap perfume. And when it's expensive, it's like it's rich. Yeah. It's like So
you can get away with both. You can like buy the cheap perfume. You still smell nice. You smell okay.
Everyone can tell.
But everyone can tell
Everyone can tell.
Okay, this is expensive. This is the expensive one.
Bro, remember those like tiny perfumes from back in the day? They used to be like yeah. Bro, some people used to like just spray themselves like a lot of that stuff.
And I think because it was cheap, there used to be this thing where I remember back in the day, they used to mix it. So you'd buy maybe 3 of those. And because you don't want to smell like everybody else, you like blend them. So like you spray this, you spray the other one, spray the other one. Now you've created a unique, foul smelling, if I may say, scent. So it's just like differentiate yourself. But still, anyone can tell. Everyone can tell. When someone walks in with like actual expensive perfume, you can tell. It's perfume. Either way, it's perfume. You've gotten what you paid for, but yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah, it's very, very apparent.
Yeah. Anyway, not to make this episode too long, but there's one more thing that I wanted your take on. Yeah. There's been this. You know how like logo designs now are like flat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's this whole flat design thing.
Yeah.
With Kia, it happened with specifically for car companies.
Yes.
With Kia, it
BMW,
happened. BMW, it happened. But then now it's happened with Lamborghini. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm all for the simplicity
flat designs, yeah.
But I feel like for cars, there's something about the logo having the little bevel and the emboss. I feel like it gives it a certain character, yeah?
It
like
does.
It's a car, it's like different. But you flatten it out and the Lambo thing is just like flat now. It's no longer, and they're using different colors now. It's no longer just a black with like the gold.
They changed the colors.
Yeah, they changed the colors. I'll try and put it up here.
Bro,
like,
I didn't like that at all.
It's like, okay, like,
I didn't like it. Ah, man.
These things need to like stay.
Yeah, there's some things that when you remove that, it removes the soul of the thing.
Yeah.
So the whole because that was a gold thing happening. Eh?
Yeah.
But now it just looks like, I don't know, man. It looks like
so for cars, for me, I'm thinking, what will the Ford logo look like when they decide to like also flatten it?
The
Ford is like they write Ford in like cursive. In within
the oval.
Yeah.
And then
so I'm trying to picture that. Okay, if they flatten this, what would it look like? It's just some things need to be left alone, especially car emblems. The emblem itself speaks something.
Yeah, the badge.
The badge is like it's like there. It like needs to be aggressive. It needs to have soul. You know.
Yeah. Speaking like just to add on to that.
Yeah.
Have you seen this new brand that's coming? It's a telecoms network. You know. It's called. Is it O2? 02.
02.
You seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Apparently, it's what? It's a rebrand of Access.
Yeah, it's Access. It was it's pretty much just Access with new branding. I guess they're trying to like bring it to like the mass market again without the. I feel like too many people have like preconceived ideas of what Access is. It's just like that network, but I think they're trying to like give it a different kind of feel.
Yeah.
So,
but like the rollout is crazy because they've just started. Why do we do rollouts like that here?
Like
no actual, like some type of ad thing. You know how our friends when they do rebrands, they have a whole video type thing.
Yeah, talking about their. I think it's also that where they felt like maybe if they do that, then they'll have to admit to being Access
before.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think they're just trying to make it like disrupt the thing and just say, okay, this is a new thing altogether without bringing their past into
new year, new me, bro.
New year, new me, bro.
No, but like I actually like.
What do you think about
I like the logo.
Yeah.
It's a little too bold for me, but I'll admit I like it. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Sure. And the branding, everything, they're being consistent with their colors. Yeah. I like that. I hope they actually get better from there.
Yeah, I have high hopes for them as well because definitely TNM and Dato need some serious competition.
Yeah, facts.
I'm hoping it's them because apparently the internet is cheap. Because I've seen the internet relatively anyway. It's cheaper.
And you know what they say about number 2, right?
What do they say about number 2?
Well, you have a lot to prove, innit?
Yeah.
This is why I have a 2 on my name. Okay? You can't be number 1. When you're number 1, you get complacent.
You just feel like, you get
complacent. You heard it here first.
That's why he has a 2 on his name. Anyway, man. I think we're good enough to wrap up it.
Yeah,
this has been a longer episode than normal, but yeah. If you're still around, shout out to you. Yeah, bro. But I think we can call it a day. We will catch up with you guys next week.
Be safe out there.
Be safe as always. Peace.